What's up, YouTube Revolution? ZombfectedGaming 349 at your fingertips. Time for a little self-promotion before we jump into this topic. If you're a Far Cry fan and want more Far Cry videos, especially since tomorrow is the release of Far Cry 6, consider subscribing to the channel and ding that bell icon really hard so I can always stay within fast reach of your fingertips when new uploads arrive. Alright, so this isn't gonna be a massive in-depth history of Far Cry games since I'm gonna wanna try to fit in all the main Far Cry games including the spin-offs. This will go through all the entries in the entire franchise. I won't dive deep into the villain's backstory since this will take a long time. I will mention every Far Cry game and where the location of where the game is set and the year it released. Alright, coming at number 1 is the original Far Cry, which wasn't made by Ubisoft. It was made by Crytek and was released on March 23rd, 2004, and eventually Ubisoft picked up the franchise. Far Cry is set in a fictional South Pacific archipelago. Coming in at number 2 is Far Cry Instincts, which is apparently a remake of the first Far Cry set in the same fictional South Pacific archipelago. Far Cry Instincts released on September 27th, 2005. Coming in at number 3 is Far Cry Instincts Evolution, which is a sequel to Far Cry Instincts and released on March 28th, 2006, and is set in the same fictional South Pacific archipelago. Coming in at number 4 is Far Cry Instincts Predator, which is actually the same game as both Far Cry Instincts and Far Cry Instincts Evolution, but the Xbox 360 version of the game, and released on the same day in March of 2006. This one was a bit confusing, but as always, the game is set in the same fictional South Pacific archipelago.
Shut the fuck up!
Coming in at number 5 is Far Cry Vengeance, which is a Nintendo Wii Far Cry game and released on December 12th, 2006. Far Cry Vengeance is set yet again in a fictional South Pacific archipelago.
Fuck.
Well, okay then. Well, sorry, chill out there, buddy. Alright. Coming in at number 6 is Far Cry 2, which released on October 21st, 2008. Far Cry 2 is set in a fictional African country for a change from the fictional South Pacific archipelago.
What the fuck?
Coming in at number 7 is Far Cry 3, which released on December 4th, 2012 and was just a few days after my 15th birthday and was a birthday gift. Great times. Far Cry 3 is set in a fictional South Pacific island called the Rook Islands. Coming in at number 8 is Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which is a spin-off of Far Cry 3 and released on April 30th, 2013. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is set on the same island as Far Cry 3 but with a silly parody version of it. Coming in at number 9 is Far Cry Classic, which was a remaster of the very first Far Cry game ever and released on February 12th, 2014 and was just a few days before I went on my very first tropical vacation in the Caribbean in Cuba. I was joking around hoping that I wasn't gonna have a Far Cry like vacation in my Cuba 2014 vacation.
Yeah, what is this place, man? I don't know what the hell. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell?
And you gotta hear it again. Far Cry Classic is set in a fictional South Pacific archipelago.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! I will kill you! And then I will drag you out of fucking hell! And kill you again! Shut the fuck up!
Coming in at number 10 is Far Cry 4 and released on November 18th, 2014 and was the very first Far Cry to take place far away from the tropical roots of the Far Cry franchise and is the very first Far Cry to feature snow and set in a fictional Asian Himalayan country called Kyrat. This Far Cry game was yet again a birthday gift just like Far Cry 3. I got it on my 17th birthday. Coming in at number 11 is Far Cry Primal, and released on February 23rd, 2016, and is the first Far Cry game to not feature any guns or any modern day technology, and is also set way before any English language even existed, and even is set way before any Assassin's Creed historical timeline. Just wow! Far Cry Primal is a Mesolithic Stone Age era game set in a fictional Central European area called Oros Valley. Coming in at number 12 is a back to modern era Far Cry 5, and was released on March 27th, 2018, and was the very first American setting in a Far Cry game ever, set in a fictional Montana, United States of America. The fictional county area in Montana is called Hope County. If another future Far Cry game is set in America again, I want to see one set in the state of Texas or Florida or Louisiana. Coming in at number 13 is Far Cry 3 Classic Edition, and released on May 29th, 2018, a part of Far Cry 5's Season Pass. Far Cry 3 Classic Edition is a remaster to 2012's Far Cry 3. Coming in at number 14 is Far Cry New Dawn, and released on February 15th, 2019, and is a direct story sequel to Far Cry 5, after the events of a nuclear apocalypse. The location of the game is set in a post-nuclear apocalyptic fictional Montana, Hope County. Coming in at number 15 is Far Cry VR Dive Into Insanity, and released on June 1st, 2021, and is a virtual reality type game where you will need a VR headset to play this game. And the game is set in the Far Cry 3's South Pacific island called the Rook Islands. And last but not least, coming in at number 16, the last one, which is out tomorrow, Far Cry 6, which is a return to roots. Far Cry going back to its tropical form, and the game will release on October 7th, 2021. Far Cry 6 is set in a fictional Caribbean Cuba, just like where I've been in 2014 for a vacation. But it's not called Cuba, it's called Yara this time. Far Cry 6 is set to be the largest Far Cry game yet, and will feature a lot of urban city environments. Looking forward to Far Cry 6. Hope to see you in Yara tomorrow. That's all the Far Cry games so far, and like I said, if you're a Far Cry fan, consider subscribing to my channel and ding that bell icon really hard so I can always stay within fast reach of your fingertips when new uploads arrive. ZombfectedGaming 349, over and out.